Buenos dias. On this Saturday, where we're seeing a bit of red and sideways, nothing much happening, to be honest, as we're still waiting for the breaking Bitcoin ETF news. And we have until Wednesday. Wednesday is the final deadline. That's January 10th. And by then, my guess is that Monday or Tuesday, latest, we're going to have the decision from the SEC. And as I said in my video from yesterday, if this thing gets approved, we will see a massive pump, and the following weeks are going to be very, very bullish, because then we have actual institutional money flooding into crypto. If it gets delayed, or for now rejected, but actually it gets delayed because sooner or later it's going to happen, that means I think we're going to have a big sell-off event, and the following weeks will be very, very choppy, right? So this is a very, very decisive week now that we're entering, and we're now in the weekend before that. So I don't expect, to be honest, much volatility, unless obviously any sort of news leaks in the coming days or over the weekend. And today I want to talk about one specific category of Cosmos projects that I think have massive potential in this upcoming bull run, and that actually have been a big driver for kind of reviving the Cosmos ecosystem and also the Cosmos community. But before that, I just want to remind you that we now have 11 Cosmos built projects in the top 100 on CoinGecko. If you count in BNB and Polygon, which are both also built on a fork of Tendermint, the consensus algorithm, it would actually be 13. But we got 11 here with Cosmos Hub Atom, obviously, Injective, INJ. We got Kronos, CRO by Crypto.com, which I think most people are not fully familiar that this is actually a Cosmos chain. We got Celestia, TIA, of course, Sane Network, Thorchain, not IBC enabled yet, but also fully built on Cosmos. We've got Osmosis, and then we've got Kava and DYDX. This is still mostly on Ethereum right now, but they launched their Cosmos chain a couple of months ago. Akash Network, which just broke into the top 100, $3.07, up 35% on the week, while everything else is down in the double digits. And also Fetch AI, right? And also, well, Luna Classic here. But Akash Network especially has been a big gainer in the past months. I shared with you in my portfolio that I revealed a couple of days ago, actually, that Akash is actually one of my largest holdings, top 2 or top 3 holdings in my portfolio. And I actually think that Akash Network, AKT, is going to be a big surprise and a top 30, 40 coin in this next bull run. I think it has massive upside potential, and still only sits at a $700 million market cap, so not even $1 billion. But yeah, this thing is going to fly. It's going to go past all-time highs. At some point, $8 was the all-time high. So that's just a bit of a 2x away. But yeah, 2.5x. But yeah, I think this is still massive potential. And I don't think it's unrealistic to assume that AKT at one point would be a 3-digit coin, right? So interesting stuff here happening. But I want to talk about one specific category of Cosmos projects, like I said, that I think are going to do a huge comeback in the bull run and will melt faces. And that category is Ex-Terra projects and Terra 2.0 itself. And I believe that Terra 2 is probably one of the least talked about coins and projects in crypto right now, for obvious reasons. I think the PTSD is still very deep, and that's totally understandable. But we are seeing that this ecosystem is coming back to life. And it's kind of the next generation, right? So Terra 2, obviously that's without the stablecoin. UST is totally gone here. This is now a fully fleshed on L1 that hosts a lot of applications. You can see here like Astroport, Uradex, White Whale, Eris, Backbone Labs, Stater, and many more. It has a TVL of 29 million US dollars, so that's not really groundbreaking right now. They have a lot of features. They also talked about this at Cosmoverse last year. We also met Chris Armani, the new CEO at Terraform Labs, and also Zion. Shout out to them. Really nice guys, and I think they're very deep into building Terra, the next generation smart contract L1, which is what Terra 2 is, right? Not to be confused with Terra Classic, which in my opinion is absolutely dead. Terra Classic, I know there are some people that still hope for it to somehow magically revive, but this is totally dead. I don't know how it still has this billion-dollar valuation. And like I said earlier, it's still in the top 100. But you can see here, and that's really where I want to get at, right? May 2022, Terra Classic has a $20.5 billion TVL. That is bigger than the total TVL on all L2s on Ethereum today. This includes Arbitrum, Optimism, Base, Manta, Metis, ZK Zinc, DYDX. All these put together today have a lower TVL than Terra had in May of 2022. This is absolutely nuts, right? This multi-billion-dollar TVL with this overnight collapse got entirely destroyed. What subsequently happened is that a lot of these Ex-Terra projects that have been very successful on Terra as a smart contract, they branched out and they decided to either build their entire Cosmos L1 from scratch or to come back by building other stuff in or around Cosmos. And we're going to look into this category because I think it's a very, very interesting and important category to not overlook. And if we look at Terra Luna on CoinGecko, ranked 132 right now, $750 million US dollars fully diluted valuation. But yeah, Terra, like I said, they have a lot of features around shared security, and they're just rebuilding this ecosystem with actual applications. They also have their own wallet with Station. Terra, to be honest, they have been one of the best in the game when it comes to business development, attracting dev developers, and just building out that ecosystem, right? And they still have a very vibrant community. So that is Terra itself. And I personally don't hold any Luna right now. I also don't plan to buy any anytime soon. But I want to bring this on your radar because I think this is important to understand, right? And also to understand the difference between Terra Luna and Terra Classic Lunk. Next, we have Kujira, Kuji, which is probably the biggest and most well-known Ex-Terra project there is. They have their liquidation engine, their fully built out DeFi product suite, which is one of the best DeFi ecosystems in crypto, in Cosmos specifically. $115 million TVL, almost $600 million fully diluted valuation. And yeah, we made a review about this here sometime in summer when it was around 70 or 60 cents, I think, around that time. I've been holding Kuji in my portfolio since over a year now, I think. Yeah, I don't hold a large position. I also think the community is very special, to say the least. But yeah, Kujira as a product, as an ecosystem, is very, very interesting. And I think this is also going to get into the top 100 very, very shortly. So Kuji, the biggest gainer and kind of biggest revival from the Terra ecosystem since it collapsed in May of 2022. Next up, we have Astroport, which is also very interesting. That's also incubated by Delphi Digital, which is a big VC and accelerator that incubates a lot of these projects, right? Astroport is one of them. Mars Protocol is another one. Apollo is another one. So Astro has been a large DEX on Terra before it collapsed. Yeah, has a $270 million fully diluted valuation, but only $100 million based on circulating. And I think, yeah, we're pretty much at an all-time high right now. Has been here at around 27 cents. And yeah, that's definitely one to put on your watch list. They also deployed, I think, on different chains like Injective and also Say Network. So yeah, you can go here, you can trade, you can buy the latest meme coins and those kind of things. So yeah, Astroport definitely want to check out as well. I already mentioned Mars Protocol, one of the leading lending and borrowing protocols in Cosmos. And Mars is one that I'm holding in my portfolio. It has a $200 million fully diluted valuation. And yeah, it just got approved basically that Mars is also now fully migrating onto Neutron. But yeah, I think Mars strengthening these synergies with Neutron and Astroport being incubated by the same team obviously helps a lot. So that's one that I'm very bullish on, because I think that Neutron is going to be a big success, and there's going to be a lot of money that will flood into this. And to be honest, lending is probably more of a bull run product, but once the bull run fully comes back, Mars is going to fly, in my opinion. So Mars, Astroport, those two, like I said, Astro, I don't hold a position. Mars, I have quite a decent back here. Levana is the next one. Ex-Terra project, $190 million fully diluted valuation. They had a very, very choppy token launch. To be honest, I haven't really followed all of that, but as per usual in Cosmos, when new coins launch, every second or third launch there's some drama around it somehow. But yeah, that's probably also just like native to crypto. Like there's always drama. Whatever, it is what it is. I haven't bought any LVN. I got a nice little airdrop, which I have not sold yet. I think 18 cents also is not a price where you sell Levana. They crossed, I think, over $1 billion in trading volume, primarily on osmosis. So Levana doesn't have its own chain. Levana doesn't have its own chain, and they are mostly residing on osmosis, right? But as you can see here, if you go on stats, $1.6 billion in trade volume, and total almost 16,000 users. So Levana, we actually made a tutorial right when it launched, very, very early, I think when they only had like 200 or 300 users or something like that. So yeah, Levana, definitely one to watch out for. It's a perpetual exchange. I think with 18 cents right now, this is probably fairly priced at this valuation. I think if it goes further down, I'll probably buy. But again, I haven't done deep dive research on the economics here, so I would first need to fully understand that. But yeah, that's that's Levana. The next one is White Whale, which I think is one of the biggest potential gainers on this list, because it only has a $24 million fully diluted valuation and a TVL of around 10 million. And if you zoom out here, the all-time high here was around 20 cents. Right now it's at 4 cents, right? So yeah, White Whale has liquidity on osmosis and Kujira, even on Maxi here. But yeah, primarily on osmosis. So yeah, this is very interesting. They also have this full-on ecosystem for DeFi. They have also liquid staking. They just have this proposal that went live on osmosis for the third time. Actually, the first time it failed. The second time there was some technical errors, and the third time now is where it's most likely going to get approved. Proposal 702. If you voted there, you're also most likely going to get an airdrop for the sale token. So yeah, White Whale definitely one to look into. I think it is also an interesting opportunity. I don't really have a lot of whale, so that's definitely one I want to from that list that I want to kind of build my position in before this pulls a 10x, and I think then I would miss out on huge gains, right? So White Whale definitely one to put in your watch list. Then lastly, we have a couple of projects that don't have their own tokens. TFM is one of them. It's a great place if you want to conduct IBC swaps or transfers. IBC, I think, can be very confusing sometimes because you're between all these different chains, and osmosis you have to deposit and withdraw, and it's kind of confusing. So you can also just go on tfm.com and you can do swaps here, or you can trade here, right? You can connect your wallet, you select your chain. Say you want, for example, to send funds from Neutron. Let's say you have USDC on Neutron and you want to send them onto, let's say, Cosmos Hub, and you want to swap that for Atom, right? You can do that here in one trade. You just connect your wallet and that's it. So that's what you can do here. You can also just do IBC transfers, right? If you have assets on Agoric and you want to bring them on Archway, whatever, through IBC, you can transfer assets here. So yeah, there's also dashboard analytics, NFT stuff here. You can do a lot more. As of my understanding, they don't have plans to launch token. I might be wrong, because in a bull run, to be honest, we're gonna see a lot of tokens launch in the bull run. In a bear market, people always complain about too many tokens. We don't need them. What's the incentive model? What's the sustainability? In a bull run, we're going to see tokens left and right. So I wouldn't be surprised if TFM had their own token. One that's definitely going to have its own token is Pryzm. And that's another one that reached, I think, at 800 million or even more than that TVL on Terra before the collapse. And Pryzm is basically tokenizing future yield. You can leverage it. You can do a lot of cool things with it. I know quite a little bit about them because also the founder lives here in Dubai, where I am based. So we met up a couple of times, and just been very interested to learn more about this project. And yeah, they're launching their Cosmos Layer 1 blockchain. So that's going to be an app chain for unlocking future yield. An app chain for yield tokenization, I would say. So it's also in the DeFi segment. And yeah, Ex-Terra people are also going to do a stake drop if you delegate it to their Pryzm validator, which is because they have not raised any funds after the Terra collapse, and obviously they've been affected by it. So if you delegate to them, you get an airdrop. So yeah, that's one that's not live yet, but I think it's going to be interesting once it launches, what valuation it lands, and might also be one to put in your watch list. But yeah, one good source for data and information, if you want to learn about the entire Cosmos ecosystem, is mapofzones.com, which actually got acquired by TFM recently. So TFM acquired Map of Zones. And here you can find really an overview about IBC volumes, about transaction volumes, about daily active users, IBC daily active users. And you can really get a feeling like what are the most actively used chains, right? And sort by volumes, sort by users. And yeah, you'll get a feeling of, what's active, what's cooking, and what's maybe not that active. Yeah, if you zoom out, we have 1.7 million monthly active IBC users. So yeah, that's a decent number as we're entering this next phase of the bull run. Hopefully with the ETF approved, because I think that's going to bring in a lot of fresh new liquidity, eyeballs, awareness, and just overall enthusiasm about crypto, right? We've suffered now for 2 years straight. It's been a lot of suffering. I think we're just now coming out of it after 2 or 3 months of kind of relief, relief pump and prices going up a little bit. But yeah, that's about it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Put those Ex-Terra projects on your watch list. I think there's going to be a lot more that's coming, and a lot of Ex-Terra developers that are now looking into Cosmos technology from a different angle, right? Because I think before that, Terra was kind of its own bubble, not really identified too much with Cosmos, but now you have this whole developer mindshare and communities coming and kind of joining the broader Cosmos ecosystem, right? So that's it for today. Stay safe, guys. Be good, and I'll see you tomorrow.